Hello, this is your average Joe, and I'm trying out something new. Trying a screen capture program, and let's see how this works. Forgive me, this is my first time messing around with this, and I may or may not be a little inebriated. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and throw my stick onto this pretty much, the horse has been beaten here, but I'm not sure it's quite dead yet. And I want to go ahead and explain the reason why I actually think this is hilarious. I've seen other people talk about this and discuss this, and a lot of people are rightfully angry. A lot of people are rightfully confused or even upset. But I think this is funny. And the reason why I think this is funny is, and I'm going to explain part of this first right now, and then after I finish reading the article, I'm going to go ahead and explain the other reason why this is also just the joke itself. It needs setup for the punchline. But the first fact that this is just absolutely hilarious is the fact that, hilariously, this is just showing blatantly the true colors of the New York Times. Because what I find is fascinating about this is not an opinion piece. This is an official piece, because if you go down to the bottom here, this is under dating, love, and marriage. This is not an op-ed, because if it was an op-ed, it would tell you that it was either an op-ed at the top or an op-ed at the bottom. This is not an op-ed. This is a legitimate lifestyle piece put out by the New York Times. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. I, for one, as a broke American man, am more than happy to help you in ruining your marriage prospects. I gladly add my hat to that cause. I am wholeheartedly here to add to ruining and hurting American women's marriage prospects. As a broke man, I am proud of this. I am proud to be a part of this group. Without further ado, we are going to get into Hannah Frischberg's wonderful little article here. This was posted 2 days ago at 5:10 p.m., and here's some soy boy dude with an empty wallet. Let's get on into it. There's a devastating shortage of men who have their acts together, according to a new study that may not be so surprising to all the single ladies out there. Yes, there's so few men so few men are just like put together right now. They're just completely and totally, as a group, worthless right now because we don't make enough money. Research now suggests that the reason for recent years' decline in the marriage rate could have something to do with the lack of economically attractive male spouses who can bring home the bacon, according to a paper published Wednesday in the Journal of Family and Marriage. Let me go ahead and rewrite this paragraph really quickly. Everyone just learned that hypergamy is the only reason why women get married, and as a result of men not being economically attractive enough, women are not getting married anymore, according to a paper published by the Journal of Family and Marriage. It's pure hypergamy. Men have not degraded in quality, okay? And I say that with this notion in mind. Have men not been taught by other men? Have they been mentored? Did they lose out on having fathers and mentors and male role models and just having that information at hand? Absolutely. But there are still plenty of good, decent, wonderful, great men making their way in the world right now, even in the face of literally having every adversity thrown at them. Many of those men are MGTOW. And the thing is what all of us have come to understand, and this is kind of getting further into red pill, almost black pill territory, is the concept that there's fundamentally few things in this world that will ever matter to a woman. And your looks, specifically your height, stature, and status, because yes, your status does go into your looks. And your economics, your economic background, these are things that fundamentally attract women. These are fundamentally things that women look for. It's just hypergamous nature. It is basic bitch biology. Basic bitch biology 101. Took an entire semester of biology in college. Let me go ahead and condense it down into literally one sentence. Fundamentally speaking, we all still function off of it. That's the end game. We are still very much animals. So the fact that people are shocked by the fact, what do you mean economically attractive? How is this even more important than the fact that she loves me? Well, buddy, she doesn't love you. She loves your materials. She loves your items. She loves the things that you can provide her. She loves the concept of you providing for her. She doesn't love you. She very hardly, if ever, will. Most American women hope to marry, but current shortages of marriageable men with a stable job and a good income, make this increasingly difficult, says lead author Daniel Lichter in a press release. Again, this just double taps, it's hypergamy. The fact that you do not provide for her, you don't have a stable job and a good income, so therefore you're no longer marriage material. However, you can still smash me between 9 to 5 any given day on a Friday. Come over to my place if you're Chad, Tyrone, Wang, or Juan. Oh, this is ridiculous. Lister adds that unless your dream man is an Uber driver, the dearth of would-be grooms, I do believe that's supposed to be death. Nice typo there, New York Times. Hey, remember when newspapers used to heavily edit their content to the point where they were almost on par with college papers? Pepperidge Farm remembers. The death of would-be grooms is prominent in the current gig economy of unstable, low-paying service jobs. So what you're possibly saying is I'm curious. You know what? Actually, wait. I wonder, are they going to get into it in this next one? To investigate the man drought. Yes, because there is a drought of men. There's literally 49% of the human population is men. But there is a man drought because if we do not have stable jobs or good incomes, you don't exist. You are essentially salt in their water. Gentlemen, be salty, like the Dead Sea. To investigate the man drought, researchers created profiles of potential husbands based upon real husbands as logged in American Community Survey data. I've never heard of that. That's very interesting. I might have to look into that. They then compared these hypothetical spouses with actual unmarried men. They found that a woman's made-up hubby makes 58% more money than the current lineup of male bachelors. Booyah! There's the hypergamy right there. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Right then and there. It's unrealistic standards. Because I'm gonna lay it down really quick for you guys. It's a hard knock life right now. It's always been a hard knock life. It's especially if you are not a man that has some kind of education or background or fundamental field, or if you don't know someone, getting started is damn near impossible. It's possible. Well, okay, I say that with the understanding of it is a high, like you will make it if you try hard enough, eventually. And that's the thing about it is time frame. Eventually, you're not going to just get a kickstart. It's not like your father or your grandfather or your great-grandfather, how they had the opportunity to basically walk in and learn the job on the fly and then pick up the education after the fact and, kind of keep going from there. If you don't have the education starting and the experience starting, forget about getting started. So, 58% more money. Think about that for a second. That is almost double what the lineup of eligible bachelors makes. That if you think about that for a second, that is insane to think about. In the fact that they expect almost double added on to what these men already make. So if you are not making 1.5 times as much money as you are right now, you can forget about getting married, is what this is saying, which is a good thing. Marriage is toxic. It's a poison to men these days. And this shows exactly why. This study reveals large deficits in the supply of potential male spouses. The study concludes, yes, because God forbid that women seek anything else in a partner besides money, property, and, status. Because let's face it, to get the money that these women are asking for, you have to have some kind of status. And that may be something as simple as being a mid-level manager or something higher, but you still have still a status of a kind. Many young men today have little to bring to the marriage bargain, especially as young women's educational levels, on average, now exceed their male suitors, Lichter says. Okay, so they finally got to what I wanted to go ahead and just slam home here. Statistically speaking, women have had the majority of degrees for nearly 30 years now. Statistically speaking, women are now the majority of workers in corporate America now, where a majority of the high-paying, easy, cush jobs are, the kind of jobs that these women expect their husbands to have. Now, if the woman is already in a cush job, in a management position or a senior management position, she expects whatever person that attempts to marry her to make 1.5 times more than her. So basically, you have to exceed her by 58%. I'm just using that number because it's convenient. But what it shows is they want you to exceed. They want you to be the one that brings home the money, the property, the whole 9 yards. But they don't want to have to be the ones that provide the path to get there. They do not want to partner with you down in the mud to build the tower. They want to walk into the tower. They do not want to help you set a foundation. They do not want to help you set the stonework. They do not want to help you create your life. They want to walk into your tower when it is finished, and then they'll take it in the divorce court and kick you back out into the mud. And they do this because they've been convinced that this is how it should be. That men are bad people and need to be punished. Because, women at some point in time were treated terribly. Everyone was treated terribly. At any given point in time. Even now. Well, that's not entirely true. Men are treated terribly in a modern age. Women, on the other hand, seem to just be getting whatever they want, so long as they align to a certain political value. And if they don't align to the certain political values, well, then they're treated badly, but still not as badly as men. Is that a pity me comment? Absolutely not. However, according to Hannah, some ladies are even starting to date down in order to score a forever partner. Dear God. No. No. Please. Stop. It's terrifying. This monstrosity. How did we get to this point? Oh, God. Women are dating down. It's horrible. Oh, my God. Why? This never should have happened. We should have never gotten to this point. It's terrifying. Or not. It's actually kind of funny. And then, I wonder, how far down are we talking here? Like $5-10? Is that dating down? Is that what that's considered? And sure, there's the whole love... okay. Here we go. And sure, there's the whole love factor in a marriage. But in the end, it is also fundamentally an economic transaction, says Lichter. Yes, it's an economic transaction. She marries you and then takes your ass to divorce court and takes half your shit. You have children, you'll be paying for them for the rest of your life. And if you made more money than her and she wasn't working at the time, you'll also be paying alimony. God damn. This is exactly what I started with. People, you have these men, but I love her. Well, you better love her enough to be basically able to say goodbye to half your stuff and still somehow claim some kind of self-respect. Because if you can do that and actually argue with me and create a valid point in which you are actually still a self-respectful person when you wholeheartedly walk into that situation knowing what's going to happen to you after reading an article like this, because they just explain to you exactly how women look at marriage. Right here in clear-cut detail in front of your eyes. Right here. Yeah, there's a love factor in marriage. Okay, look at how condescending that is written. There's the whole love factor in a marriage. That doesn't even play a part in any of this discussion, because it's also it's a fundamental economic transaction. That's all this is. It's economic transactions. And because the men aren't making the money, women aren't getting married, and oh, woe is women. God for fucking bid. They have to put their money where their mouth is and be the fishes who don't need bikes. Yeah, because men need women like fish need a bicycle, right? Huh, that's interesting, because all I hear is a bunch of fucking nagging over how broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. But women need men like fish need a bicycle. Fascinating. Fascinating, isn't it? Now, I promised I'd tell you the reason why I think this is funny. This is the punchline part of this. It's not a very good joke, but, you know, it's something that if you actually get to a certain point in time with looking at everything that's going on in the world, it fundamentally starts to begin to look like a giant, like, joke. It's just a comedy. And really, the punchline in this is that people are shocked in 2019 that this is the way women look at men. That's funny. You've had, like, let's see, in my lifetime, I've had 10 years now of information to show me how women look at men. If you're older than me, which you probably are, if you're older than the age of 24, you've had more time than me to understand this here, right here, this last sentence, is all women ever see men as. Convenient economic transactions. If you still think for a second there's any other story, there's anything else to this, you're a damn fool. Now, I think that's funny. And I think this entire thing is hilarious because it shows exactly right here, just in the title. Young men are not doing well in economics. They're not doing well in the business world. And fundamentally, they're not getting a chance to get started. But do you know what it really comes down to how exactly this pans out? This fucking title right here. Broke men are hurting American women's marriage prospects. Don't care about the male suicide. Don't care about the fact that men are getting actively attacked and discriminated against. And that fundamentally every aspect of masculinity and male identity is being essentially ruined and destroyed in front of our eyes. Or that many of us grew up in fatherless homes. Or the fact that this is going to continue to get worse the longer we prolong this bullshit. But who cares about that? Because, women can't get married, which means the divorce courts can't go on. And what about the fucking family court? Think about all those divorce lawyers that will no longer make money. No one's getting divorced. The bridal shops that will never sell another dress. The jewelry stores that will never sell another ring. Oh, whoa, my heart bleeds for you. Well, this is your average Joe. Like I said, I'm trying something new. I want to go ahead and I want to hear your guys' feedback. Did you like this? Did you prefer this over what I typically do? Thoughts, comments, concerns. Hell, do you even have like a link to memes? I'll accept that too. Sexual favors and a half-eaten bag of gummy worms at some point as well. But as always, gentlemen, I want to go ahead and say thank you very much for your valuable time. The fact that you went ahead and took time out of your day to go ahead and take a look, listen to this video means a lot. It really does. So as always, I wanted to go ahead and say thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time with something just as ridiculous as this.